Hey everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert. Woo-hoo! Hey! Have we ever had a freight train of energies? How many of you have been on the crazy train for this last week, especially the 2 days? Ups and downs and anxiety schmegging everywhere. Some people told me that they felt like they were having panic attacks, and some people said they felt like they had vertigo. There's nowhere on here on Facebook to go woo woo, but but if you can give me a thumbs up and let me know that you've been rocking it this week, that it's just been like, a schmeggin', I don't know what to call it, but it has been freaking odd this week. We've had a lot of trouble and a lot of challenges, so I'm going to tune everything in here. We're going to get started on doing a little training tonight. Thank you for the thumbs up. So what is happening here is, let's see here. That picture looks kind of weird, but yeah, okay. What's happening now is that Schumann's resonant frequency, the heartbeat of the earth, is going off the charts. And as many of you know, the way that the planets align affects the bioelectromagnetism on the planet, affects the frequency. So tonight I thought, most of us that are highly sensitive, most of us that are empaths are really having challenges right now, just trying to maintain, from one day to the next. And then you've got the whole thing with COVID and wearing a mask, not wearing a mask. You've got social unrest. You've got the kids going back to school, and it's like, wow, right? What could possibly be next? And that's why I thought it would come on, and I'm going to share the chart with you on Schumann's. We haven't done that in a while. And then I'm going to talk about 3 things as a highly sensitive person or an empath that you should know are kryptonite to you, being the beautiful divine being that you are, and raising your frequency and getting yourself back to where you need to be, the white blood cell, to help this planet to progress, okay? So, been doing a lot of learning myself and going on with a lot of different things. And I'm going to pull this Schumanns up, and we're going to talk about it here. And I'm going to ask that if you find what I'm going to be sharing tonight to be of value, I'm going to ask that down below you push share. I understand there's something called a watch party. So if you have friends you want to invite right now that are highly sensitive or empathic, that have been pulling their hair out, going, what the heck is going on? And how do I get along? Then now would be the time to invite them to a watch party. I think you can do it on a replay, but I'm not sure. Learning new things. And then if you watch this on a replay, click share, because this is it. We are in this time of change and transformation, and if you don't have what it takes as a sensitive, you're going to sink. And I don't want to see that for any of you. And I have been on the internet at toolsofergyprotection.com now for years. And I used to be number 1 in the search engine, and then a lot of other people jumped on board, So time to change up the game, time to get us on board, on the right path, because this is it, people. This is not Armageddon, okay? I've got a lot of questions. People saying, is this the end time? No, not yet. This is just the falling out, if you will. This is the expansion. If you take a pebble and you find a nice lake that's just beautiful and you throw the pebble out on it, the pebble will expand. The echo of the water will expand because the pebble disturbed it and caused the water to go out. But if you were to look at that water under magnifying glass that would allow you to see the fractal parts of it, you're going to see all kinds of change. And one of my kind watchers here sent me a link to Greg Braden, who is another studier of the same kind of arts that I do. Only he's more scientifically trained. And he had a video showing what happened. And it's not just that this ring goes out and that's it, but there's a lot of vibration in between. And it takes a while from that disturbance to get everything back to calm again. So think of it that way. And thank you for the person who sent that video to me. It was a perfect visual display. I just don't have the ability to share it here, legal rights and all that. But that's what's happening. You know, the stone hit the water and everything's vibrating and we are all vibrating, and Schumann's will rest for a while and then it'll come back and it'll test us to where we're at. So I'm going to be sharing a lot more here and on the Sensitive Fight Club to help you all, to offer you some more training, because I realize I'm only coming on once a week. And that's great, but I know some of you are having challenges and you need a little bit more support. So I'm going to step that up and bring you some more information. Anyway, up here on the search engine for Facebook, if you type in Sensitive Fight Club, some pink soap will pop up and ask to be a member, and I'll let you join as soon as possible. And it is on my drawing board to have some sort of training there at least once a week in addition to these Facebook Lives. And I thank you for bearing with me as school is starting for my own daughter and we're experiencing online school and what that looks like, and, you know, when does mom get a chance to work? All right, let's get on. So I do have a question. Stacy, thank you. She says, love that color of lipstick on you. Thank you, Stacy. We'll have to get together later. This is actually two different things happening. I was playing with some sparklies. So anyway, where is Schumann's at? If you haven't seen it and you're here on Facebook, if you go down in the feed after this and scroll up, you'll see a couple of different ones. If you go to Tools of Energy Protection later on, I will post this video as well as pictures of Schumann's and what's happening. So yesterday, the 31st, around about 1 o'clock in the morning, I want to show you this. This is what was happening. And you can see that there was so much disturbance in the bioelectromagnetism of the planet that we got what I'm calling the scrubbies. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down. And so what happens is the energy pushes, and then when it stops, this is what falls out. And notice how it went from a higher frequency down a couple of notches and then picked up here. So this is a different vibration than we've experienced since COVID. Okay, just a little bit different. And this is the mental body. So this is why a lot of you felt like you had vertigo, or for me, anxiety or panic attacks, and you couldn't understand why. I mean, I went to the store with my daughter on Sunday because she'd been working and earning her own money, and we went shopping, which is fun and exciting. And, you know, I didn't have any work that day. And as soon as I got out of the car, I felt that elevator stop. You know, just like when the elevator abruptly stops, you know, that whoop, right? And in that, it felt like I was going to pass out. And I'm like, what's that? And think to yourself, have you drank plenty of water? Have you had plenty of protein? And that went on for the rest of the afternoon. So when I got home, I pulled Schumann's, and this is what I found. So you've got the mental bodies, the emotional body, and the physical body, and then the spiritual body. So they were all being stimulated yesterday. And they continued through, and then we got a little break. And if you'll notice right here, the activity gets big again. Now this pink is just because of my printer. That should be blue. And some of it was not registering too well in here in the Schumanns. And so if you pull something called the critical frequency, you're going to notice the critical frequency goes way up, really high, and then boom, crashes down. And I did take a picture of that so I can post that on the website as well, so you can pop over there and have a look at that. And if you choose to look at it, right down here on the bottom is military time, and this particular place that measures Schumann is almost 12 hours opposite of Colorado time, so you can get a fix for where that is. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is for those of us, oh, sorry, one more thing here. August 31st, I want you to look at this again. And if you notice, I don't know how well the camera is going to pick it up, there was some skipping in the ability for Schumanns to pick this up and record it. And what that means is it's like it would read it and then it would drop and read it and drop. And so what's happening is the electromagnetic frequency is so prolific that it's causing problems with internet, with rabbit ear TV, with Comcast, not to name a company, but places like that. So there's been a lot of satellite transmission issues during this time, if you've experienced any of that. All right, now, here comes the fun part. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Kryptonite. How many of you know what kryptonite is, right? Kryptonite is that really horrible thing that Superman experienced, and it took away his superpowers, okay? It was a mineral property deriving Superman of his powers. So, if you will, these Schumann's frequencies are going to show you what the kryptonite is as a sensitive or a highly sensitive person or an empath. So I'm going to share with you right now how 3 different things to recognize within yourself. And if you recognize them, then know that these are the things that are going to be shown to you by these Schumann's frequencies. It affects your mind. It affects your heart. Hi, Leah. Good to see you too. It's going to affect your mind, your heart, because Schumann's frequency is a heartbeat. It's a vibrational frequency, and it affects the mind and the body. And this is designed by God's Spirit or Source to keep us moving forward as humans, because otherwise we'd just sit back, get into a groove, and we'd be fine. So, what I have found in my life is that a lot of highly sensitive people and a lot of empaths are codependent. Because we're born with these big hearts and we just want to love everybody and make them happy, and that's our job. If you felt like that, or if you're still a people pleaser, can I get a thumbs up? Let me know you're out there. Give me a thumbs up if you're a people pleaser. Hi, Kelly. There comes one. Anybody else? Even if you're on the recording on Facebook. Yeah, there we go. Please put a thumbs up if you're a people pleaser. All right. So highly sensitive people, empaths, we're born. This is our genetic makeup. We are born very heart-centered, very loving, and we come out and we just, oh, good, there's another heart. We just want to love everybody and hug them and make sure everything's okay for them. That is the nature of our DNA. That's how we were made. Capiche? So, good, I got some more cares and stuff. So, if we're made that way and we come out and we are born into a family that has sociopaths or psychopaths or narcissists or people that are just wired to take advantage of other people, then from the time that we are small, we're going to be wanting to make everybody happy. And those people have a brain set. It's a mindset to act in a certain way. Sociopaths and narcissists are usually created that way. They were once born happy and loving and had things put on them emotionally, and their brains wired and they kind of put up walls, and that's how they came to be. Psychopaths, they're born that way, so that's just how they are. But most of us are born into a family of somebody like that, and those people are driven to have an interaction with someone else where they are takers, they are manipulators. This is what they do. This is their programming that was bred into them. Most of them are not born this way. They just grow up in an environment and it gets created. This is normal. It's called neuronet or if you change, it's called neuroplasticity. You can go look that up. But what happens is highly sensitive people and empaths, we want to love and make everything wonderful for everybody else. And inevitably, we will find somebody who is an energy drainer. Can I get an amen? How many of you out there experience energy drainers? People that are energy vampires, they latch onto you and they suck just as much of your attention and your time as they can get. And they look like they're these, oh, I'm in trouble and I need help. And you're like, woohoo, I want to come in and I'm going to rescue you and I'm going to make you feel better because that's my job. I got a couple thumbs up. How many watchers? Oh, watching is low. Uh-oh, there must be something major going on that I don't know about. Oh, Becky says amen. All right, sister. So here we are. And now we've found people that want to drain our energy vampires, or people that create lots of drama. And you're like, oh, here, let me fix you. And they go, okay, I'm fixed. And then they go right back into their drama. Guess what label that creates? Codependency, especially when we're small. Especially if it's one of our parents or a sibling or somebody who's important to us. Because we become dependent on how they feel about us is how we feel about ourselves. And that's how I looked at codependency when I was really young. Because I had a parent, not both of them, who had narcissism. And that parent would manipulate situations so that I would seek the love, like little kids do. We seek love and approval from our parents, right? And then when I would seek that approval, then it was always set up for me to experience pain. At least that's how it looked to me. There's always two sides to every story, right? Okay, so we'll give a little grace there. But what I'm conveying to you is that somewhere along the way, you came out happy and lovey and fixy, and you're like, fix. And have you ever seen somebody, a designer? I love these people who are designers and artists. They're so beautiful. Or they're painting and they'll go fix, paint. And then they stand back and they look at it and they're like, oh, that's not right. And then they do something different over here. Or that's not right. And they paint a little stroke different over here, right? Well, that's how us highly sensitive empaths are. We fix, love. The person's not quite happy, only one side smiling and the other side frowning, right? So we don't. Well, then we stand back. And that person drawing their energy to us will make us feel bad because they're not all better yet. Or they're not happy with what you did. Now, legitimately, as parents, we have to step in and we have to say, hey, you're not doing this the way that you should oughta. I mean, you got to use nicer words. I'm learning that with my daughter. This is great. You did fabulous here. Let's try this a little different here. But that's not how I usually experienced it. It was either A+ work or you were crap. And if you were crap, you were going to emotionally suffer. And that created codependency. So I know this is a really tense subject, and I've had people write me emails saying, can you talk to the angels again? Yes, absolutely, no problem. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, with the energies off the schmeggin charts like this, where they're going up and down all the time, this is the energy we want to see, like just right here. But this is huge, and this is what I call the scrubbies, and this is the stuff that's pushing us forward and making us dig deep and getting rid of the crap so we can elevate our consciousness, elevate the consciousness of the planet. I'm not asking you to be a superhero. I'm not asking you to be a savior. I'm asking you to shift yourself so you can flow the divine light to those around you by doing nothing more than smiling and having safe, healthy boundaries. That's it. But if you're looking at everybody else for approval, And the way this planet is right now, you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it on the TV because there's lots of stuff that's bad or wrong there. You're not going to find it on the internet because there's lots of stuff bad and wrong there. And you may not find it on Facebook because there's people slinging mud. And not all of us. So that means you only have one channel to tune into. One. And that channel is in here. It's within you, ladies and gentlemen. Your rabbit ears in the old days, old school, we used to have TVs and you had to pick up the signals, and so there was this thing that would sit on the top and two little metal things would come out the top and you'd move them back and forth until you got a nice picture. Rabbit ears. If you don't know what it is, go look it up. But your rabbit ears, ladies and gentlemen, your antennae, your frequency has to be tuned up, or when you go through here, you're going to have more problems than you ever imagined. Right? And when you're in a world that has so many opportunities for worry and concern and debate, you've got to have the center spot. Center. Okay? Connected to God, Spirit, or Source, however you see that, and connected to Earth Mother. Because you walk on Earth Mother, that's where your feet go. Okay? Without her, we're kind of screwed. And then you have your connection to God, Spirit, or Source. And right now, it's going to get pummeled over and over and over and over again, because the desired outcome is to put sensitives into fear and suck them dry. Anyway, so I told you I was going to tell you 3 different things to recognize. So what happens is when these energies get all scrubby and wiggy and stuff, especially the mental and emotional body. That's up here, mental and emotional. Look at this, goes all the way down the page, just little bits. But when that happens, that's the energy pushing in on our human bodies, on our human minds, on our frequency, and then let's go and sees where you go. The more centered and the solid that you are, the less wiggy you're going to get. So pay attention to what is coming up for you when this happens, when we have the energies like this. And in the Sensitive Fight Club, I will put a link to this so you can see it in real time for yourself and make some notes. So you can see how that corresponds to you. All right, let's get on with it. So, what does the kryptonite do to the empath? Okay, here's the number one thing. We're talking about codependency. A lot of empaths are codependent, whether they likey or no likey, whether they recognize it or whether they don't. No judgment. No judgment. This is identifying what is wrong for you so you can fix it. If what I say doesn't resonate with you, bye-bye. Okay? Love you, but I don't have time to mix words. But if you're also listening, go, that's not me, but that's my friend, then share this. Okay? If you're on YouTube, my YouTube channel's been suffering lately. Nobody's going over there, so if you're on YouTube, click like or thumbs down if you don't like it, okay? So, anyway. All right. So, 3 traits of codependency that bring anger and resentment. Okay? When you seek approval, and when you're seeking approval of other people, more than you're paying attention to self-care. I have been so guilty of this over the last couple of years, desiring to have someone else approve of me, love me, and appreciate me to the point I got drained, had dark circles under my eyes. It's not happy. And I see I'm getting some thumbs up. Thank you for that. And when you let someone else's behavior affect you, and then your desired outcome is to provide them with healing, but you want to control that outcome. You want them to heal faster, or because you're giving different things. You want them to heal. You want to see them shift. You want to see them change. That is codependency. Okay? How many of you out there are resonating with this? Okay, looks like a few of you. All right. Trait number 2. All right. Trait number 2 is trait number 2. Oh, good. Lots of thumbs up. Okay, this is fascinating. Okay. This is a big one for me, you know, when somebody throws an arrow and you try to duck it. Well, this is the arrow that came to me. Being a superhero. Okay? Every generous, loving person has the heart of a superhero. They want to fix everything. Sensitives and highly sensitive people, my daughter, she loves everybody. She thinks hugging everybody will just fix everything and there's no problems in the world and it's rainbows and, you know, and unicorns. She's too young to be jaded by everyday bill paying or riots in the street, thankfully. I used to be like that too. But you soon learn as a highly sensitive person or an empath that you can only please so many people for so long. And if you continue to do favors for friends and favors for family, it can become very overwhelming. How many of you as women, or maybe single dads, or if you're a stay-at-home dad, volunteer for every single thing to help your kid? You help them with their homework, you volunteer at the school, or used to in the old days. You know, with COVID, not so much. And you're constantly doing things. And I've been told that people that are very busy are usually easier to approach to get something done because they'll fit it in their schedule and make sure it gets done. That's probably true and really great, but I myself do not need anything more to do. Thank you. I had somebody in my life for a while that used to make suggestions on things I could do better in my business. You can do this and you can do this. And I said, you know what? No. I am maxed out with what I can do in my business right now. So if you have an idea, jump in and help. And that person disappeared quicker than I don't know what. But they were gone. It was like, you know, when I said, oh, you can do that. It's a great suggestion. Could use the help. Boom, gone. So obviously their people pleasing was not there. Or they didn't know how or whatever. But when you become overwhelmed because you believe that you should have to do everything for everybody else, and here's this scary part, do everything for yourself. That's where I've been stuck, right? I can do it myself. I don't need anybody else's help. Well, I do. And that's why I've been having challenges with getting, you know, different things going, like the level 3 of the academy, because I thought I could do it all myself, and I can't. I have too much. So I've got to farm out what I can so that I can do what I was set here on the earth to do. And for those of you that have been waiting, I told you to go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and the 2 classes would be listed there, but I did have some help rearranging my website. So the person that's helping me took down level 2, so it's only 1 level up there. So I'll get that fixed, and I'll put some things down here for you all to get registered. If you're waiting on level 3, please email me and I'll get you registered for that. So I do apologize, but you know, human. Anyway, so being a superhero. And often as an empath, when we give and give and give, or a highly sensitive person and give and give and give, we would like to be recognized for our efforts. But many people don't, because they see us as a big, wonderful human being who can do anything. So they forget to say thank you. If they're sociopath or narcissistic, generally they don't forget, they just don't do it. It's not within them. So if you've been feeling underappreciated, undervalued, can you give me a thumbs up or just nod your head? I can't see you, but you can still nod your head. So here is the solution to that. Set boundaries, set limits, and take your power back. Good, I got some hearts, thank you. And just know that this is going to be a struggle for a while. Because the first time you say no and set boundaries, people are so used to you saying yes, they'll go ahead and dump whatever it is on you, turn around and walk out. They haven't even heard your no. And if they do hear your no, they're like, what? Huh? And then they make you feel guilty for having said no. So set some firm boundaries and be prepared to say no. The Bible says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. So for those of you that are having trouble with that, I'd like for you to put your hands out like this, unless you're driving, okay? And in that left hand, I'm going to give you a tool for your hand. So hold your hands out, okay? So I'm going to take the letter N, and I'm going to put it right down there in your right hand. Now, I'm going to take the letter O, and I'm going to put it in your left hand. N-O. Get it? It's a new tool. Okay, I know that was a little corny, but you get it, and you're going to think about it now. So that'll help you process. All right. Third trait that these frequencies are stirring up within everybody. The third trait is when everything on the outside looks really good and you're keeping that image up and people say, how you doing? And you're like, fine. One of my favorite comedians, George Carlin, used to say, fine, baloney. Of course, he used a different word. George was a little mouthy. But he'd say, how you doing? Fine. Baloney. Hair is fine. I'm not asking you to spill your guts out, and people that have known me for a long time know better than to ask me how are you doing, because they know if I'm not doing well, I'm going to dump. But I've learned to kind of pull that back a little bit. So when things aren't good, and you've been, just really generous and giving and it really feels good to say yes, then I'd like for you to start admitting to yourself that you are not fine. It is okay to admit you're not fine and you're not great. And within that, being fine means that you can say, no, I'm not doing good. I can't volunteer to do a million things right now. No. And that's all you have to say. And then ask for help. So I'm going to invite you to join me this Saturday for the Spiritual Awakening Academy, where I'm going to teach you tools to help you to break free of some of the things we've talked about tonight. So if that feels really super good to you, and you're like, yeah, I'd like to learn, how do I draw boundaries? How do I take my power back? How do I claim it? How do I learn to ride the waves of the energies that look like this without, feeling huge amounts of anxiety or stress or vertigo-y? Okay? toolsofenergyprotection.com, and then click on click on the Spiritual Awakening Academy Level 1. If you're waiting to register for Level 2, I'll put the link back up so you can find it, or you can email me and I'll send you the link. So Level 1 is this weekend, Saturday. Next weekend's level 2, next weekend's level 3. God, Spirit, or Source told me we've got to knock those out because we need more people that are centered, more people that are balanced, and more people that are aware and ready to go. So I'm going to be calling some folks and running some advertisements to get more folks in. But if you know somebody who's highly sensitive or empathic, have them join us or at least click on the button and find out more about it. There's a video I did a few months back that's on there that explains more. But that's how to understand what's happening to you. That's why these frequencies are off the wall, and that's why we as highly sensitive people that before have had all our walls and our shields and all that, all of a sudden there's kryptonite and we don't know what to do because our shields don't work like they used to. Time to up level. That's what the Awakening Academy is about. I'm going to help you up level your shield. I'm going to help you take your power back. I'm going to help you understand who you are. And I fully expect you can take level 1 and walk away a totally changed person. If you want to know more, level 2. If you're ready to wield the power, level 3. And the power is not being a superhero. The power is about knowing how to take energy and move it in certain directions to achieve certain results. And in that, I'm going to be teaching the dowsing in level 3. And if you don't know what that is, it's intuiting using a pendulum. And you can learn all kinds of things. So I'm going to look at the questions very quickly. I appreciate the 3 of you that hung on. I see the attendance is really super low tonight. I know I didn't advertise it like I normally do. I'm wondering if maybe the president or somebody's on, and usually the ratings are real low when that happens, but no worries. I know this will be replayed and it'll get out and stuff. Let's see. Stacy, I'll get in touch with you about what this color is. Thank you for that. Leah, it's great to see you. Kelly, big hugs and kisses. Becky, awesome. I'm super excited to see you in class. Thank you, Tanya. You think I look great? Thank you. I've been shedding a few pounds. Bill says, I like to help others, but I have really been working on cutting through the BS of others who try and pull you in. Absolutely, Bill. You got to draw them boundaries. Sorry, a little Southern humor. Then let's see her. Leah, I'm glad that you're resonating. Kelly, yep, been a tough week. And no, it hasn't been a full moon. I looked because I thought that's what it might be. But what I'm understanding is the different named astrology, like, Aquarius and Leo and Cancer and all that, apparently they shift on the northern horizon in different ways. I don't understand. I've been studying that, reading some stuff by Zacharias Sitchins to understand the Sumerian tablets and what they were saying about the stars and how they change. But this is a time of great beginning. And then, like any beginning, you're going to have a lot of shaking up and down. And Kelly says, thanks for being here. You are welcome. Now, little bonus gift. I am preparing free teachings because I know people would like to know more about what's going on. And like I said, my website is changing. As it's changing, I'm going to be posting more free training on the website. But in the meantime, I want to test it out in the Sensitive Fight Club so I can find out if it's a subject people like, if I don't tell them enough, if I tell them too much, that kind of thing. So I'm going to be offering little things on the Sensitive Fight Club. It may be only me getting on there for talking for 5 minutes and asking you to fill out a worksheet or look at some things for yourself. Like one of the things I would like to do this evening is to get some things posted up on how to shield yourself in these uncertain times. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. I do try to keep these a little bit shorter these days because I know people are lacking in time. I've also been asked to post here every day, just something small. So I did talk about a couple things yesterday and the day before. So if you scroll through the screen, click like up here on top of the Facebook, or follow. So when you click follow, if your notifications are on your laptop or your phone, every time I'm on, it'll let you know. And if you click like, then when you check your Facebook feed, the stuff should be in there. So if you'd like to join me on the Sensitive Fight Club, it is free. So type up here, Sensitive Fight Club, and I will check the membership here in a little bit. And otherwise, if you haven't taken the Spiritual Awakening Academy Level 1, come join me this Saturday and let's kick some butt, okay? And then bring your friends, tell them, hey, come on, let's take this class and see how we can shield ourselves, how we can put up energy or put out energy to keep that kryptonite away from us and to be more upright. So anyway, that's it. Big hugs and kisses, and I will see you here next week on Tuesday night or on toolsofenergyprotection.com or my YouTube channel. Have a good night.